What we are going to do is that continuing our Arthashastra class and specifically on finance, today you must be seeing that we are following a different methodology using some chapters of Arthashastra. In the last class also we took it. Today we will be focusing on book number 2, chapter number 8. And for those people who haven't got the book, I have already circulated.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Is the video shoot okay?
Yes, sir.
Interestingly, this need not have editing, it can be directed. Some of them which are sensitive, we can do it. This can. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that we will read the whole chapter together and then we will take some basic concepts from the book. I want everybody to be participative, so I request everybody to read. So, for all those people who have a physical copy of the book, the page number is 85. Okay? So, book number 2, chapter number 8. Of Kautilya's Arthashastra, right? And it is called Recovery of Revenue.
तो व्हाट्सअपवरचं काम आहे ना मोबाईलमध्ये नाही का तुझ्या तुझ्या मोबाईलमधलं
Misappropriated by state a very interesting part. Who are the people Chanakya is targeting? They are basically the bureaucrats themselves. They are the officers and anybody in the state system. We have this major complaint now, government is corrupt across the board, not only in India. So where does the corruption start from? Government. And the state employees themselves are the one Chanakya is targeting in corruption. Till now we saw the revenue models. And there is a beautiful analogy that is given, that imagine a pot. Okay? Now that pot is like a treasury box. Okay? Now if you want to make yourself rich, the treasury box rich, what are the ways to make it rich? Fill. The pot has to be full. That means the government rich has to be full and the whole state will be rich. What is the method for it?
Taxes.
Yes.
Reduce expenditure.
The analogy goes like if there is a pot and that's a treasury box, there are two ways of actually making that pot full. One is put water in it, right? Or money, income and all. Second is to stop any leaks from the operation. See, a lot of people create wealth, but they don't know how to manage wealth. Have you heard a lot of these celebrities?
Yes.
Suddenly one movie has become a hit. So not that they are poor, and maybe they make 100 crores. But is it guaranteed that the 100 crores will make you rich? No, you should know how to manage that. Because later on you may not get. So this chapter now talks about the other side of it. That if there is a pot which has got, let's say, water coming in, but नीचे अगर leak है तो
It will fall down.
this is how to capture that leak. Very interesting dimension. First is to create revenue, second is to stop corruption in the system, which is the leak. And Chanakya in this chapter and this whole unit will be over with the next chapter. We will be taking 2 chapters on how to stop leaks in the system. So the first one that we are going to take is chapter number 8 and the same thought will continue in chapter number 9. Okay. So let's look at state employees. So now this is state employees and the second one is officers. In any particular system, there are 2 levels. Officers and employees, right? So officers are more the intelligent guys, more educated guys and having higher positions. In government also we have this, officer, grade 1, grade 2, whatever it was, class 1, class 2. But then there are these administrative support also. They may not be educated, right from a Haman, the labor class. They are also state employees, they also get all the benefits, right? So here we will see that Chanakya gives a lot of importance to both sides of it. So let's read it one by one. I will start with the first one, and I want each one to start reading one paragraph, so we cover it up. Okay. Chapter number 8. My request is that for those people who are not having the book, you can look at the mobile, but have something called as self-discipline. That don't switch on from that to next. You know, mobile is a nice thing. It's such an addictive thing, and it can help you defocus, right? So I don't know whichever smartphone you have. So don't look at me and look at something else. Look at that chapter. Okay? So open that PDF file or that image that you have got. Okay? So focus on that. So सबको clear है? चारों page मिला हुआ है. There are 4 pages that's going to look at, right? So we are in the page number 85. And the good part for those people on the screen is that अब बड़ा हमारे पास उतना advantage है. Okay. Chapter 8. Recovery of revenue misappropriated by state employees. This is one of my favorite sutras, opening number 1. All undertakings are dependent first on the treasury, therefore he should look at the treasury first. We will go into explanation of that later. So I want to start with Neha. What you do is that there are paragraphs, right? So now next one is basically sutra number 3. Read the whole thing. And I will request Ganesh to read the next one. So एक line सब लोग पढ़ते हैं. You can start.
Prosperousness of activities, cherishing of customs, suppression of thieves, control over employees, luxuriance of crops, abundance of commodities, deliverance from trouble, reduction in exemptions, and presence in cash. These are the means of increase in the treasury.
Trading, concealment, causing loss, use, interchange, and misappropriation. These are the cause of depletion of treasury.
So you will be alert,
There is the pages were up and down. Pages up and 86 there.
So this is थोड़ा नहीं उसको यूज करो. Take your time, go ahead. 86 है.
86, the fourth one, right? Fifth. Failure to carry out work, failure to realize its fruit, or failure to deliver it in the treasury constitutes hindrance. For that, the fine is 1/10 in the amount involved.
Lending at interest of goods from treasury is lending. Trading in state commodities is trading. In those cases, the fine is double the fruit.
If the officer makes the due date as not due or the date not due as due, that is concealment. For that, the fine is 1/5.
If the officer causes diminution of revenue fixed or causes an increase in expenditure sanctioned, this is causing loss. For that, the fine is 4 times the amount that is lost.
The use of king's goods by oneself or allowing it by others is used. For that, the punishment is execution for use of jewels, the middle fine for violence, for use of articles of high value, restitution of that and an equal amount as fine for use of articles of small value and forest produce.
The appropriation of the king's goods by the substitution of other goods is interchange. That is explained by rules concerning use.
80. If the officer does not deliver the income that has accrued or does not pay the expenses put down in writing or denies the balance received, that is misappropriation. For that, the fine is 12 times the amount.
Just wait. Now the next one, that huge paragraph goes into 3 pages. So what I would suggest is that maybe after two lines you can take a break. That one sutra itself is very big. You can see that number 20 actually goes up almost to
only
half page. So next, but वो बड़ा page है ना. थोड़ा भी everybody should get a chance to read this.
Of those officers, the ways of
embezzlement are 40. What is accrued first is realized afterwards. What is to accrue later is realized first. What is to be carried out is not carried out. What is not to be carried out is carried out.
Yeah.
What is carried out is made out as not carried out. What is not carried out is made out as carried out. What is carried out a little is made out as much. What is carried out much is made out as little. So should I stop there? There's a full stop or I should continue?
It's a comma, but Alta can continue.
One thing is carried out while another is made out as carried out. What is carried out from one source is made out as from another source. What is to be paid is not paid. What is not to be paid is paid. Payment is made, not made in payment is made untimely.
A little paid is made out as much. What is overpaid is made out as little. One thing is given while another is made out as given. What is paid to one is made out as paid to another. What is delivered in the treasury is made out as not delivered. What is not delivered is made out as delivered.
Forest produce for which the price has not been paid is delivered. That for which the price has been paid is not delivered. Concentration of goods is made out as dispersal or dispersal made out as concentration. An object of high value is changed for one of low value or one of low value for one of high value. The price is raised or the price is reduced.
The year is made discrepant as to months, or the month discrepant as to days, discrepancy as to source, discrepancy as to head of income, etc. Discrepancy as to workmen, discrepancy in performance, discrepancy in the sum total, discrepancy in quality, discrepancy in price, discrepancy in weighing, discrepancy in measuring, and discrepancy as to container vessels. These are the 40 ways of embezzlement.
In these cases, we should interrogate each individually: the subordinate officer, the storekeeper, the recorder, the receiver, the person who pays the person who causes the payment to be made, the advisor, and the helpmate.
Next. And in case of a false statement by these, the fine shall be the same as for the officer concerned, and he should issue a proclamation in the sphere of his activity. Those wronged by such and such an officer should communicate it to me.
Stop. To such as a communicate should cause payment to be paid in accordance with the injury suffered.
Next.
And in case of many acquisitions, if the officer denies all charges and is proved guilty in a single case, he shall be liable for all.
Stop. Next.
In case of partial admission, he shall stand trial in all cases, and in case of misappropriation, a large amount of money, if proved guilty with respect to even a small part of it, he shall be liable for all.
I mean, the president of Radhakrishna.
An informer to whom guarantee is given against appraisal by the officer should receive 1/6 part of the amount involved. If the matter is good, 1/12 part if he happens to be a state servant.
Next.
If in an accusation concerning a large amount, only a small portion is proved, he shall receive a share of what is proved.
Next.
In case it is not proved, he shall receive corporal or monetary punishment, and no favor shall be shown.
But if when the charge is being proved, the informer at the instigation of the accused officer were to prove out the case or to make himself scarce, he shall be condemned to death.
Bharat, read the first one again.
So recovery of revenue misappropriated by state employees. First is All undertakings are dependent first on the treasury. Therefore, he should look to the treasury first.
Thank you. Everybody got a chance to read at least one line? The thing is, that's a very interesting chapter because this chapter has been recommended by some of the scholars for studying corruption in Indian administrative system. But Chartered Accountant Society has used this as one of the models. And one of the very important things is 40 types of corruption. And we are a smart generation, we will have 100 types. The 40 types are still relevant, that's the new 60 ones which we added on, right? Now if you look at the chapter, the way we will look at it is basically, I'm going to look at this as giving you certain pointers which you should read later on and understand. Okay? So I think I love the sutra. Okay? I think this sutra, the first one, all undertakings. It's a very, very important sutra, not only used for corruption, but as a principle of how to govern. If you are a leader, you should understand this. Kaisa? Everything depends on money, right? The Sanskrit word says, Kosha Purvaha Sarvarambhaha. For beginning of anything, you have to look at Kosha, budgeting. Tasya Purvaha Kosha Vechid. Basically, after that, everything else. Therefore, he should look into the treasury first. So, the very smart, intelligent, and practical sutra, isn't it? Anything that you do, you look at budget. That's why my guru, Dr. Gangadhar Nair used to always tell, Indians always have Chanakya inside them. Whether you are aware of it or not. Don't you see that we naturally do calculations in our back of the mind? Rickshaw में जाना है, taxi में जाना है, bus में जाना है, train में जाना है. Don't we already calculate that? कितना लगेगा? We all go to shopping malls, and you know why shopping malls fails? Because we go there free में AC घूम के आएंगे, but we can't afford it, right? Only thing is that we don't speak about it. We don't talk about it. We go there, बड़े अपने लिए नहीं. Only the difference is that in the Western world, they tell you I can't afford it. Yeah, my sister, cousin sister, she's in London, and she was working actually in Hirandani Hospital here in Mumbai. And then now she's working in one of those hospitals in London. She was telling that both the hospitals have the same type of clientele who come, the rich and the poor and the poor. In India, if a poor man comes to a rich hospital, he will not tell that I can't afford it, right? He wants all the facilities but can't afford it. He will take some loan and all those things, and he say, I managed it. But he'll never tell the doctor. The doctor tells, this recommendation is he doesn't tell. Either they will buy or they will slowly go away to the hospital. But the cultural difference she found, rather when she was in UK, was that if somebody comes and tells you this is the medicine, this is the treatment, it is costing, let's say, 100 pounds, 200 pounds. They say okay, or they directly tell on the face, I can't afford it. It's too costly. You see the difference? So somewhere we also have to be truthful, not only in your mind but also in your speeches. Our Shastra says, Manasa Vacha Karmana. What you think, what you speak and what you do, all should be aligned. We think something, we speak something and we do something else. That's called conflict personality. And that's a very loss of energy. सोचते कुछ है, बोलते कुछ है, करते कुछ है. चाणक्य स्ट्रेट. वही सोचा है, वही बोला है, वही किया है. All undertakings are dependent on treasury. Absolutely. Therefore, the king should look into the treasury first. Before you do anything, first do the financial calculation. Very practical. It is about taking an auto or buying a house or joining the school also. Otherwise, you will get stuck. Don't worry, we will not let you get stuck. Don't worry about that. But you see this? We want this affordability. I want to buy a car. And the people who understand this game very well are the economic and banking community. iPhone lena hai. I can't afford it. No worries. EMI. They'll make a plan for you. They'll make a scheme for you. I can't buy this house. No problem. Loan law. The whole industry is working on that, you know this? And every industry has got this concept called EMI now, right? What is EMI?
Every month.
Enjoy it now. Pay later. Okay? That doesn't mean you should not take a loan. See, you have to also understand certain financial concepts, which is called good debt and bad debt. How many of you are aware of this? Is debt bad? Loan bad? Of course bad. Because Mahabharata says the biggest tension for a man is an unpaid loan. पता है आपको घूमते रहते अंदर. All of us have houses, but everybody has got it on a mortgage. You may call it your house, you call everybody, but you know, if I don't pay, you may gone. So is loan bad or good? Principally bad.
Actually bad.
Principally bad. You know, in Mahabharata there is an event called Yaksha Prashna. You try and read that. So there is a dialogue between Yudhishthira and Yaksha, host. And very beautiful questions, some eternal questions were asked, and Yudhishthira, Dharmaraj, right, he answers them very, very correctly. Try and read that. Of course, we are not covering in our syllabus, but it's a very, very beautiful chapter. And he has started asking, you know, what is the biggest joke? One question that Yaksha asked, and Yudhishthira said, the biggest joke is that man goes to the funeral of another person and thinks that he will never die. Isn't it? उसको स्मशान वैराग्य बोलते हैं. When you go for the funeral of somebody, you say, "अरे बेचारा, अपने को भी लगता है कि हम भी एक दिन मरने वाले हैं." But the moment you come home, बड़ा पाव खाके बैठते हैं. Isn't that the biggest joke? Yes. When you see somebody else's death, but you think you are permanent. Actually, seeing somebody's death, you should be aware of your death and live life fully, right? Yes. So when those questions, one of the very profound questions is this: what is the biggest tension for a man? And Yudhishthira says this very clear: unpaid loan. It doesn't allow you to sleep. It cannot allow you to sleep. Right or wrong? Right. These are all eternal principles. Nobody can change. Yet, the smartness is that if required, you should take a loan, but then you should understand the difference between a good loan and a bad loan. A good debt and a bad debt. So, what is good debt? First of all, we told debt is bad. What is good debt and bad debt?
Discoverable is good debt.
Good debt is the one. Follow.
Good debt is the one where we can generate revenue and pay some money.
Okay. Banker, sir. Is there anything called good debt? Yeah.
You can pay it easily.
You can pay it easily, yes.
Which can help you acquire assets which appreciate higher than the interest.
Okay. Good debt is the one which is required when you don't have debt, when you don't have money. First of all, a situation where it is required to take a debt. If you have your own money, don't take it. But there are some projects where you can't afford it. But that project has to be started when you take a debt. But the financial calculation is, number one, you should be able to pay the interest in time. So if you are able to manage the interest from time to time, then it's a good debt. And most importantly, it should be able to build as an asset, not a liability. If at all you get a chance, you should read a book, a very interesting book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
Robert Kiyosaki. And Mr. Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump have written a book also together.
Yeah, what you want you to be rich.
Why we want it to be rich. Of course, all those models, there are a lot of flaws in that model, but some principles are very good in that book. It talks about the good debt and bad debt. So why am I telling you all these things, friends, is that if in life you have to take a loan, you have to take a loan. Like, you know, sometimes the education you have to take a loan. Some of you have taken, right? Is it good debt or bad debt? Good. If at all you are able to pay that on time and you get more value from what you invested.
Yes. Market value.
Okay, so if you invested 4 lakh and you are able to make 10 lakhs, if you made 4 lakhs and you get nothing, what is the certificate? Gone. Get my point? In the same way, buying a house. A lot of people invest in real estate, right? They don't have money, but they borrow money and they buy. Right? Good or bad? As long as you are able to pay. So remember, all undertakings should be calculated financially. And I tell you, once you get a handhold of what is good finances, you become confident about yourself. You can take risk, but risk is different from calculated risk. People confuse, you know. Everybody is, you know, high risk, high return. Wait, don't jump into conclusions. Between risk and no risk, there is something called as calculated risk. Take a calculation and say that itna marunga, itna fayda hoga. People have lost everything that they have earned in one satta, isn't it? Yes. But that was not calculated, that was impulsive. So when it becomes financials or accounting, never ever do it impulsively. Take your time. There is a saying in the business communities, accounting should be done when nobody is disturbing you. You can't do accounting in a marketplace, right? Market में धंधा होता है, but accounting शांति से होता है. So whenever in a disturbed state of mind, never do any financial analysis. Your financial analysis should be done in a very quiet place, and nobody is disturbing you. And it helps you. I have tried that in myself. Because when you are going to a shopping mall, sometimes you buy it impulsively. The thing is that when you have to pay, sit down. How many of you have credit cards, you know? How many of you fall into the trap of credit card? Nothing is that. How many of you believe credit cards is good? How many of you believe credit card is bad? How many of you not yet tried it? Not yet tried it. For those people who have not yet tried it, you can't avoid it. Whether you like it or not. You know this fact? You can't avoid it. It's a fact of our generation that you need to have credit cards. You may try the debit cards for some time, but you can't avoid it, let me tell you. But for all those people who have fallen trapped of credit cards, you must have realized this, right? Is it bad?
Very bad.
Very bad. But those people who have never paid an interest on credit card, how many are there? Is it good? Very good. Excellent. Very interesting. I have used credit card for the last 14 years. Never had one single problem. Never had.
So if you manage well, let's say I got a credit card which if you manage well in a yearly I get 10,000 fuel, 10,000 rupees worth fuel.
I have taken 35,000 to 80 miles I got 22,000.
If you are not able to pay interest, they charge 3% per month. That is very too much. Exorbitant. 36%
annually. And compounded.
Yes. So 3% per month is too much.
Now coming back to the basic question, is credit card good or bad?
Good. Good if you
as long as see, I was just listening to him and taking the whole concepts. The same concept goes at the individual level and at the national level also. You know this? Countries also take loans. State also takes loan.
Yes. United
Nations, World Bank. Companies take loans for capital investment, lot of things, right? The smart leader, and that's where all of you come, is the one who are able to understand that sometimes loans are required, debt are required, credit is required, but if I'm able to manage it and pay off in time, I'm a king. And as you said it very nicely, if you are doing it regularly, you only get upper and upper credit based to become bigger. Actually for them you are bad, because they can't make money out of it. But you know they're waiting for that one galati of yours.
Even if you make that, if you look at it from overall perspective, you still get out of it. And the beauty is that if you're able to convince them saying that I missed a thing, otherwise I'm switching the card, they will waive you off that. You just need to know how to.
I know of a person who's got 22 credit cards. 22 and absolutely smartly managed.
But today if you maintain 22 credit cards, so the CIBIL rating takes a hit. So you should not have more than 3 credit cards. Your CIBIL score goes down.
Maybe you're right, but what I'm saying is that
if you are applying for a loan, it shows that you are. So if you are applying for a loan, then your CIBIL score goes down.
He's never taken a loan, that's what he says.
Whenever you manage tax for every time, so it's a very smart way of managing money because it postpones your total outflow almost by 3 months. So you have 3 credit.
So I was with this particular person in Chennai and they're buying something, okay? So whatever, 2000 usko pay karna tha. And immediately when the counter came, he started looking at 3-4 credit cards and kuch calculation. Oh, this credit card, what is it? No, this is now another 30 days more.
Yeah.
Because of that, there's a credit card ka bill date.
Yeah.
But it's very close, you have to pay it immediately. But you can take that for 30 days. Coming back, be smart when you take loans. Sometimes you cannot avoid it. And sometimes it is good to build assets. I mean you are in that particular business, right? So it's very important to understand. Therefore, the principle is that all undertakings are dependent first on the treasury. Therefore, we should look at the treasury first. So we financially calculate. Now we come back to our topic. See, Sutra number 3 talks about means of increase of treasury. PR is treasury. Okay? Means of increase of treasury. So let's read it. Prosperousness of activities. When you have more and more activity, it is good for the economy or no? We generate more wealth. Activity नहीं रहेगा तो आदमी lazy हो जाएगा. Those who are active will create more wealth. Cherishing of customs. Very interesting. What do you mean by cherishing of customs? Practicing all customs. Yes. Do you know there is India, one of the largest economic drivers is festivals. Diwali, Dasara, Holi. You see now economic activity suddenly happens. There is something called a temple economy in India. Are you aware of this temple economy? गाँवों में जतरा होता है ना? When you are wedding, celebration, Shabrimala, Jai Mata Di, you go to all those places, all religions, you know. When you are going to Hajj, it's a temple economy. A spiritual economy as they call it. Kumbh Mela. Exactly, you see this link? Chardham Yatra. You look at every religion, every custom, every tradition, there will be some activity. And whether you want it or not, Diwali पे लोन लेके भी खर्चा करना पड़ता है. दावत होती है. You should just look at the industries that get a boom during festivals. Sugar industry. What is the connection? सबको मिठाई बांटना है. बनाना. हलवाई का तो धंधा चल पड़ा. You just look at Cadbury's putting ad on celebration chocolate.
Haldiram.
Everything. So you know, no, that's only one food. What about clothing? What about travel? दिवाली में सब लोग जाएंगे ना वेकेशन में. तो air hikes are high. Tourism. Shopping is high. Relatives लोग में लेन देन चलेगा. कुछ गिफ्ट देंगे, वो देगा, ये देगा. किस एंगल से सोचा है उन्होंने means of increase of treasury? That's what I think. Where was I? I was in Singapore. By design, the government keeps making some activities. Malls में वही करते हैं ना? You go to the mall and keep creating some activity.
Promotional activities.
Footfalls बढ़ाने के लिए. Diwali धमाका. Diwali is over, then New Year धमाका. This धमाका. Then they want footfalls. So I've seen now, in Singapore only I saw there is this particular place where every week there will be something. They'll keep creating something Indian, something Sri Lankan, कुछ ना कुछ करो. They'll make a big glass out of it. Circulation of money. Okay. Next, suppression of thieves. How to increase? चोर लोगों को eliminate करो. Control over employees. State में employees लोग ज़्यादा मत बढ़ाओ. And control them because they can show more expenses, right? Before you hire, think twice. And those who are hired, make sure that they are able to manage it because those are the ones who will start misusing it. Next one, luxuriance of crops. जितना उन्नति farming में होता है, we say na good harvest season. There's a lot of festivals again connected to harvest. Baishakhi, in Kerala I think you have Onam, Vishu, Maharashtra you have so many others. So every particular state in India will have a harvest festival. Isn't it Pongal? Yes. So that shows abundance. अगर खेती अच्छी होती है, so that is good increase for the treasury. The taxes go up. Abundance of commodities. What is the meaning of commodities? Grains, food grains, pulses. Yes. So उसका व्यवहार बढ़ता है ना, ट्रेडिंग बढ़ता है उसके वजह से. If you look at this trading communities, you will see them. For them, the give and take, the demand supply of the commodities, everything decides. Next, deliverance from trouble. जितना प्रॉब्लम कम होगा, उतना पैसा बढ़ेगा. Next, reduction of exemptions. See, government keeps giving a lot of exemptions, isn't it? This exemption, but you know, if you keep giving exemptions, then there is no income. So as much as possible, don't give exemptions from the government side. For example, in movies, have you seen tax exemption movies? Tax-free?
Yes.
What is tax-free movies? Give an example. Tax-free are being used.
It is a entertainment tax. So more and more people will try to watch the movie.
Yes.
Especially to promote
So if you
them.
go to next time any particular mall to see a movie, you will see that the actual cost, there's the entertainment cost, whatever tax and all those things. So almost 40% goes in.
100%.
100%
Yeah, if 100 is taken, 100% is entertainment tax.
Yes.
So double.
So, but the government says, all movies tax exemption. Revenue pass away. So major revenue. But government thinks about it and then they get special movies which are tax exempted so that it's for a bigger cost.
Yes.
Give me a movie which was tax exempted.
Yashwant Raj or Pratish Pandey had produced one movie.
Give me the name of a movie.
Yashwant Raj.
Dangal. Dangal हो गया? Okay. बाग मिल्खा बाग.
Mr. India.
तारे ज़मीन Mr. India. Amir Khan knows his name. Then we have this movie. What was that? Sairat also get tax exemption.
Border.
But you see these movies, they are not just entertaining movies. They have a social cost to it, right? Message. So when you go to the entertainment section, there are classifications. Now look at tax exemption as far as land is concerned. Okay, the government gives you land, right? SEZ. Exactly.
Especially
In Kutch, there was a book come saying okay, tax exemption. You don't have to pay anything for the next 10 years. Tourism industry, if you start a hotel, first whatever 10 years no tax. But if you keep giving tax exemption forever, they say okay, tax holidays. But the holiday also ends.
10 years.
Then reduction of exemptions and presence in cash. These are the means of increase in treasury. जितना cash economy था ना उस ज़माने में, demonetization नहीं हुआ. Now we are moving into digital economy. But the more you get in cash, the better it was during those days. If you remember, the previous generation always believed in cash is reality. Cash is king. Now we are saying that we have to get into the formal economy, but in informal economy, cash dealings, the people who cash were kings, right? And cash is real. So somebody will say, cash versus check. What would you prefer to take? Check. Right? अपने लिए अच्छा है check देना, but सामने वाले के लिए कैसे? Receiving cash is good for the. Now, this is how to increase. Now, Sutra number 4 talks about laws of treasury. So, increase हो गया. Now we talk about what are the means through which you can lose. Let's look at that. Hindrance, lending, trading, concealment, causing loss, use, interchange, and misappropriation. These are the causes of depletion of the treasury. Hindrance मतलब क्या? Stop. The cash flow stops. Now if you look at it, if you look at the banking industry, today everything is 24/7 because of the internet and banking. But think about it that Saturday, Sunday bank band. You see that whole cycle? It's a hindrance. So we have to look at what are the types of hindrance you can have. There is some problem that is bad for the treasury. Lending, good or bad? Suppose you have to lend to somebody, good or bad?
Good. If interest is
I get interest.
Again,
If you get it back.
it's not telling just lending with interest नहीं है, just lending. There is no guarantee of coming back. Bad, loss for the treasury. But I'll tell you again, in banking, lending is also important. So if you don't lend, how will you make? Bankers are known for taking and lending, but that's where the revenue is. But for the government is not a bank. Government is not a bank, it is an economic provider of activities. Therefore, government has got nationalized bank and a bank which gives policies to all the banks. RBI. Which are the government banks? State Bank of India, nationalized bank.
Central Bank.
Private banks also, right?
NABARD is there.
So the question that happened was that is government job banking? Is government job banking? No. Government job is not banking. It is welfare of people, and bank can be a source of economic activity. That's why RBI policies is a very important thing. You know, a lot of smart businessmen who started and then they became banks. And then they realized that banking is not my core activities. I sold off my banks. Can you give an example?
HDFC.
Private banks. No, I'm talking about businesses which were non-banking but became banking and then again sold off the bank because they realized that's not what I'm supposed to do.
Hinduja had a bank. Oriental Hinduja had a bank. Dada's had a bank.
Times had a bank. Times of India, Times Money, they had a bank.
So that was more from a government regulation because industries cannot have a banking of their own.
Yes, you are right. But the idea is that they said, "Isme kya karna hai?" So the idea of telling all this is that the lending is negative for a treasury, right? Should I keep filling up my treasury or giving away the treasury? Now the serious thing comes in. Who is the lender in that system? You will take the money out inside, right? नीचे से जाता है बोला ना? Exactly. So okay, so we have lending, trading. Trading is good or bad?
Trading is good, but no value doesn't get created in trading.
Here is interesting. Trading is a loss to the government.
Correct.
It's a loss to. I tell you how. Somebody produces 10 rupees, and somebody sells it for 50 rupees. कितना बनाया? 40. Now it depends on the honesty of that trader. Because you can make money, but the thing is that if you don't pay taxes, tell me how many traders are honest. I'm not telling everybody is dishonest. If you look at the percentage, what happens? Every industry has got something called as middlemen. You heard about it?
Yes.
What are middlemen? And it is not only in India. Not only in India. So trading is good, but traders also are supposed to be regulated, right? Look at the farmer suicides. So trading is not bad. In fact, look at the other way of it. Government has trade associations. You know this? Trading is very important, but again, the value system of the trader matters. The same trading community, there are honest traders and dishonest traders also. I remember so many people telling me, "क्या है? ये सब छोड़ो, rules and regulation, आप उसको government employee को manage कर लेंगे." Okay. Anyway, this see, each of us philosophically, fundamentally, you have to understand it. Yeah.
So then, how it is bad in this case?
Pardon?
How is it bad over here?
See, you have to think that you are the government.
Okay.
Don't think as a trader. So this is written for the government, the king. So if you are, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, let me put it this way. I am the government. So you have to visualize yourself not as a citizen or a trader, but as a government. Okay. You are a गाँव का employee. Okay, you are a गाँव का employee. And I have a budget that आप ईमानदारी से काम कर रहे हैं. I need to give you 300 rupees per day as मजदूर. Okay. The initial system was there was somebody in between who will gather everybody together. You remember the contracting system? Yes. Contracting work. So what does the contractor do? Does he work? No. He's an interface between the government and the person working, right? Now tell me one thing. I have decided a project saying that this project is meant for employment in the rural areas, correct? Yes. And I have got 300 rupees per person per day budget. And for that project there are 100 people required. Initially what used to happen is that I can't do my work by gathering 100 people. That's not right. So this contractor comes in between and he gathers everybody. And whom do I pay? Contractor. And what happens? He keeps his commission. But the government says there is a commission for the contractor, there is a project cost, where he also has to honestly buy, right? Yes. So in that whole thing, let's say 10,000 rupees I am transferring per day for the whole project. Just give an example. He's supposed to take whatever 2, 5, 10%, right? Because he's also worked hard. But calculation of the government is that everybody should be paid 300 rupees with whatever contractor's margin, right? But tell me one thing, how many of them actually get 300? Nobody gets.
At times they get 50% only. At times.
आपने बहुत ज़्यादा बोल दिया। राजीव गांधी का फेमस स्टेटमेंट याद है आपको? गवर्नमेंट के ट्रेजरी से निकलता है 1 रुपया तो 11 पैसा लास्ट आने के बाद मिलता है कितना? It's an official statement. How much?
11 paise.
Very bad.
नहीं, that's what trading. But what is the answer to it?
control corruption.
No, I pay you directly.
Yes,
Why do you think digital India is so important? Jana Dhana Yojana. Jana Dhana Yojana is when I pay you. So you have a contractor, he may get all, but I am supposed to get your bank account first, and then you get it into your account straight. Good or bad? Good. So what I have done is I eliminated the man in between. What are the farmers doing? They are coming to the city and selling it directly. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Good or bad? Very good. Technical there.
Middlemen are.
Now, is trader required or not?
Not required.
Actually not required. No,
Trader will always be required. But honest traders are more required. Unfortunately, the numbers are less.
Yes, that's the point.
That's the point. So if you are a trader, the value system matters.
Yes.
Believe me, everybody is a middleman here. In one way or other. Am I not a middleman between the university and you?
Correct.
Is not the guru the middleman between the god and the bhakta?
Yes.
Isn't it? Everybody will be seeing that we are in a circle and we play a role connecting two people, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We require. The thing is that honesty matters. वो गुरु अगर गड़बड़ वाला निकला तो so many things that happen. Right? If I honestly don't do my profession, university के नाम पे तुम लोग को ले लिया, you will come sincerely in the name of university, right? I'm a middleman. I have an ethics to perform, right? As a teacher. What I'm saying is that trading is bad because unfortunately traders are not following ethics. Few of them do. But all the trading communities, here is a secret. If all the community of traders or all traders start following ethics, you know what will happen? Very interesting, I'm going to tell you a secret. If traders become ethical, what happens? Prices come down. They become manufacturers. I'll give you a very important insight. Traders, if they follow ethics, they become. I tell you why. I'm sitting over here, okay? Farmer, okay, he's a manufacturer, he produces everything. I'm a trader, I'm selling it to the person who is buying that fruits, vegetables or whatever. The thing is that this guy is honestly working and seeing the problems of these people and these people, right? He's made money. You know what he'll start doing? He's saying, "Arey farmer, ek kaam kar, mera paisa tu hi le." So my margins I start reinvesting and धीरे he becomes a farmer himself. Huh? I know so many people who started as traders but actually became industrialists because उनको उनका pain पता चलता है. The biggest one is Tata. Tata started as traders. You know this? They came to India. And trading is a quick route to money. No hard efforts. वो कहते हैं ना इसका टोपी. Seriously, if you look at, there is no manufacturing efforts, right? अब पूछो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग वालों को कितना प्रॉब्लम है, लेबर का प्रॉब्लम है, गवर्नमेंट का प्रॉब्लम है, वो बोला और मैं बनाया 100 रुपया में, वो आदमी आके करते चलो 500 रुपये में बेचो. Nothing to do. But an honest trader understands this. I'm doing very hard work and will support them. And over a period of time, he becomes that. Narayan Murthy tells this story about this. Saying that he started as a person who was actually getting contracts for software production. So he can be a contractor. और किसी और को बोल देगा ना software बनाओ. He realized कि no, I can be a creator of jobs. It's not easy. That's why the capital market में जो पैसा बनाते हैं ना trading share में, they're not respected. Tell me one thing: if you have two people standing in front, a stock market icon, we have Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, I know a lot of people, right? Yeah. And a Narayan Murthy stands in front of them. And sometimes that stock market dealer will be more richer than this guy, right? Yes. But respect किसको ज़्यादा मिलता है? Why? Because he creates jobs. Yes. Manufacturing creates job, make in India, right? And this guy, he makes money for himself. He may create 5-10 people. But then only again trading will time.
Warren Buffett.
Very good point. Very good point. Is Warren Buffett only a trader?
The investor. The long-term investor.
That's my point. When a trader becomes an investor, it's a different thing because he's again playing the game of creating wealth, right?
Yes.
So it's a different, and he also takes risk. Have you ever worked with any Warren Buffett company? Absolutely ethical, huh? See, this is what when an ethical trader gets into an ethical business, the standards of business are also very high. Then you trust that. Are Warren Buffett wala company, right? The standards are very high. They set up global standards, and Warren Buffett will not invest into any company stupidly, right? We have a case in Tamil Nadu. Suddenly the whole thing has gone.
He doesn't invest in IT.
He doesn't invest in wrong businesses and he doesn't invest in business he doesn't understand.
That's
So now this smart guy, even though there is an opportunity, there is no नहीं समझ में आता है. He's a बुड्ढा. How many 80 years old? मतलब ये IT industry ठीक है, but मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. So is Ratan Tata. He doesn't understand, but he says okay, Snapdeal, and he understands. I will invest on you. Is Ratan Tata invested in Snapdeal? Yes. But did he directly invest? He's got money. He's invested to right there. And that's why American law still deal with Snapdeal. You know that, no?
He was a brand ambassador.
पता है आपको? Why? तो कुछ तो बीच में गड़बड़ हो गया था. नेक्स्ट डे उसको निकाल दिया. बोले भैया हमारा कंपनी का क्यों डिवाइडेशन कर रहे हो?
Tata Sky.
टाटा स्काई पूरा निकाल दिया वंस एंड फॉर ऑल.
Even Zodiac company, Zodiac clothing, they used to sell ties before as a vendor, and then he started manufacturing ties and shirts.
So when you get into manufacturing, it's not a painful process, but you enjoy that job creation. देखो जब आदमी ट्रेडिंग करता है खुद के लिए पैसा बनाता है, he becomes very very rich. But when he creates a factory, believe me, he employs 100 people. That means he employs 100 families. That one person who earns provides 5 people, right? And you enjoy that process. You are creating wealth. देखो भैया लीडर्स अपने लिए पैसा बनाना मत करो. It's very difficult to start companies. It's not easy. It's not easy to run a factory, to run a company because कितना सर दर्द है, compliance वो ये. But I'm telling you the satisfaction that you will get. तो आदमी जब वो 10,000 रुपया घर पे लेके जाता है ना, उसके बीवी बच्चों को कुछ खिलाता है. It is large happiness. How many people are seen in Mumbai, and some of you will know that you know कि personally they are super rich, but every day office में जाता है. Why? Everybody will say, I know some of these leaders, every day they crook. And personally their assets is 50 crores. They're struggling with the government, 2 crore, ये करना, वो करना. So you know, they were telling me one of these guys, like, यार every day उठ के झंझट हुआ है. Why do you do it? That's a very good question. मुझे मजा आता है कि basically वो 4 लोग जो काम करते हैं ना उनका खर्चा. This is the leadership is. Leadership you have to have yourself. Anyway, we are going away from the principles. But it's important for all of you to know why Chanakya says trading is not good for the treasury. बराबर है ना? यहाँ से 100 रुपये दिया, 1 रुपया दिया तो 11 पैसा पहुँचता है. Is it good? Right. Gone in between खा लिया ना? Demonetization is to make everybody inclusive directly. Jana Dana Yojana. Today, if there is a government scheme, you get it directly. If you are employees of a company, don't you think you get a check or whatever the money directly into your account? Yes. And if it was routed to somebody, an HR department, बोले मेरा कमीशन है. Lot of schools में होता है, पता है? Government schools में साइन लेते हैं 5,000 रुपए का, देते 2,000 रुपए, पता है आपको? Yes. Yes. Trading.
In the union budget, they have introduced many new concepts that the direct payment will be done with the accounts.
No, now that is the beauty of demonetization, that everything will be directly between you and me. No interface in between. Will trading die? No, all traders will die. Trading is so important. We have trade associations. Between 2 countries, trading is required. Don't think that trading is not required. But ethical traders are more required. Unfortunately, Chanakya understood not everybody can be ethical trader. Because if you are an ethical trader, what happens? You become a manufacturer. You get into the real thing. That's what happened. What was Reliance? Trader. Exactly. What was Birla's? See, look at the story. They are traders. Look at the history of traders, you will understand this. Where did Birla's make their biggest monies?
Cement.
Where? Which part of India? Exactly. Kolkata. British capital, right?
Yes.
Trading between 2 nations. Tata's ने पैसा कहाँ बनाया? Kolkata. They started with nursery. But Kolkata was a big thing. And interestingly, they also made the biggest money in opium trading. Yeah. Of course. At that time, opium wasn't considered illegal. Now it is like a narcotics में include होता है ना opium. हाँ, but अभी तो उसमें exit हो गया. But the biggest what happened is these people, if you look at the whole Marwadi community, they are all trading communities, right? Yes. But the idea is that they never stuck to only trading. Went around, नॉलेज लिया, पढ़ाई किया, अब जाके इंटेलिजेंट करते हैं काम. They created so many jobs. Anyway, so Anand said each of this concept we have to understand from the government standpoint, not from a personal standpoint. So trading, Four. Interchange and so these are the causes of depletion of the treasury. Okay. Now, from 5th to 19th. These sutras is very interesting. So पैसा समझो लेके गया. Somebody is taken away from the government. You can just sit down and say, "If the culprit, I have caught him." No, you need to recover that money. That is why Mr. Roy is in jail. Which Roy? Is he acquitted?
They are acquiring his
Is he
other
acquitted?
properties.
No. Is he proved guilty?
No.
Of course he's proved guilty.
No.
Exactly. You cannot put anybody in jail without. Is he proved guilty or no? Let's debate on that.
He's proved guilty.
No.
What is
No.
कुछ तो prove हुआ है.
Let's have a personal standpoint. Why is
जेल में
it
क्यों रखा है?
These behind are only for recovery of payment.
Absolutely.
He is not guilty.
He is not found guilty. He is for the recovery.
406 said, that is section 406 of the law is just behind for recovery.
Then a trial में jail. So maybe we can get a legal opinion. Chetan क्या है?
So the fact is, no comment, sir.
That's my point.
No comment. Irrespective under which section it is. Your section, you have to give opinion.
A lot of people who may not be giving loans, paying off their loans in time, right? Are they jailed?
No.
Not paying the loan is also crime, huh?
Yes.
Like for example, अगर check bounce होता है, is it a crime?
Yes.
Are you guilty?
Section 106.
Very interesting debate. If I give you a check and the check bounces, is it a crime?
Yes.
Of course. And what kind of a crime? That means तो आपने अगर पैसा ले दिया तो आप क्रिमिनल हो, इसको चेक मत दो, डायरेक्ट ट्रांसफर
Penalties twice the amount.
Exactly. Coming back to the point, forget about Mr. Roy or anybody. The idea is that he is in jail for one fundamental thing called recovery. इसलिए आप हमेशा पेपर में पढ़ोगे ना, तो अंदर है, वो तो अंदर है. Lot of politicians अंदर है ना, 1 महीना, 2 महीना, 6 महीना, उसके बाद क्या? The wealth is still mine. See, the smart government is the one who not only catches the culprit but recovers what has been taken away, right? This is what is important. How many of you have seen the movie Godfather? There's a very interesting scene in that. He has to murder somebody. And when he murders, this particular Don asks the lawyer, he is saying that, कितना महीना चलेगा? 6 महीना. लेकिन 6 महीना उसको छुपा दो. 6 महीने का भूल जाएगी ना?
90 days charge sheet has been.
So what are a lot of politicians say? नहीं काम कर पकड़ लो, ठीक है. आपको तो बस आपने सब अरेंज कर दो. You say 1 year 2 year I'll take all AC TV लगा देते हैं. और वो 12 महीने का तो पैसा जो चोरी किया होता अपना ही है ना. Enjoy that lifelong. बाद में स्विट्जरलैंड जा. Oh, here the guilty doesn't feel guilty, and jail is anyway 5-star order for 6 months. But now coming back to the government angle, is it good for the government from a financial perspective? No. You lost all the money. So from number 5th to 19, we got amazing sutras on how to recover the money from a thief.
So Roy is in prison for recovery.
Yeah. He is guilty, that's why he is in prison. But he cannot come out because the SEBI has gone behind him saying that कुछ भी होता है वो छोड़ेंगे ही नहीं.
Till the time you do not repay us.
No, he is not convicted.
He's not छोड़ो ना, पैसा चाहिए.
पैसा चाहिए इसके लिए वो
रिकवरी होएगा तब तक गवर्नमेंट पे छोड़ेंगे.
The current situation is out on bail and he has to pay 20,000 crores. Now if he doesn't pay, he is going to go back into prison. He's got a time frame.
Yes, but he did fraud as well. He did a fraud, that's why he went inside. So he is guilty of fraud. Where is the recovery from?
Baba,
fact, what he said is right. Legally, he is not even guilty. He is not even a criminal. He's just a.
No, he's not a criminal.
No.
The conviction is very important.
Okay, let me come back to the real story. I know the person who actually did all this thing. You want to get him here? Yes. Subrata real case. You know who is the man? Okay, which organization went behind SEBI. That's what I point. And I can get that SEBI who did that. उसने क्या किया था जब ये केस खुला ना तो इस लोग you have taken so many money from so many investors and all those things. You know this guy acted smart. You know what he did? Investor का तुम लोग portfolio दो, right? Government has the access to it. वो ट्रक के ऊपर ट्रक भेजा था मालूम है आपको? 8 ट्रक सबको काम पे लगाया. कहा तू कौन है SEBI वाला? मैं. Shivananda sir can tell you the whole case. I was a part of this whole investigation. Next time I get Shivananda sir to ask you this case, yes. I can give you a SEBI guy. Now the government said, "Acha, ab dikha." You know what he did? He sent 8 truckloads of papers saying that these are my investors. They're asking for details from me, Mr. Sahara Deshbhakta. Pura 15 दिन, morning to evening, that SEBI guy put his team into place and saying, "Padho, उसमें जो आप खोट निकाला, and he sent back a report and saying, prove these guys, they are wrong." They're not there. तब जाके prove हुआ. उसको खिलाने की कोशिश की, उसको ये करने की कोशिश की, वो अपील नहीं. And now that doesn't end. He said, अंदर तो हो गया. No, I will recover it. It's behind it. I will recover it. The question is not whether guilty or no, he is guilty, but the idea is, so the question here is recovery.
They're planning to attach the Sahara Ambivalli property also.
हाँ, वो तो जाएगा.
They have attached.
They already attached.
Sahara Star property.
Have you gone to Ambivalli?
Yes.
What is the first thing you see when you go to Ambivalli? Bharat Mata.
Bharat Mata का is a
देखो भैया, patriotism cannot be a मुखड़ा or a चोर. Patriotism is a very different feeling. देशभक्त वहाँ पे भारत माता का वो बना के कुछ नहीं होता है. Lot of people I know, I tell you like जिंदगी में बहुत जन को देखा है भैया. बाहर से भक्त, देशभक्त is one part. विठल का भक्त है, उसका भक्त है, इसका भक्त है. अंदर से fraud of the highest order.
What is the difference between politicians? All politicians have.
See, politicians again is general, right? Good politician, bad politician, right?
There will be hardly any good politicians.
What do we require? Good politician or bad politician?
Sorry?
What do we require? Good politician or bad politician?
Obviously, good politician.
Good politician. Now the question is that can a society be there without politician?
No.
See, this is where the difference. Can a society be there without traders? No. But what kind of a traders is society require? Can a society can be without or without politicians?
No.
We require politicians. But the question is, do we have good politicians? Right? And let me tell you, good politician is an asset to the society. The problem is that we have more bad politicians. That's why saying politics is bad. Politics is bad. एक line में बोल दिया. You have a political science department. It's an academic subject. You can have no country without politics. The form of politics can be different. Democracy, I don't know whatever. The thing is that politics is equal to leadership. Can you have a society without leader? Do you want good leader or bad leader? Good. What's the point? We come back. It's interesting. See what I'm saying, the ways of recovery. Let's quickly look at this. Failure to carry out work, failure to realize its fruit, or failure to deliver in it the treasury constitutes in hindrance. ऊपर जो hindrance दिया है ना, उसका example यहाँ पे दिया है detail में. For that fine is 110. So आपने अगर कुछ गलती किया, loss to the treasury, you recover it by fines. चारा का केस में है ना, you are recovering it.
Yes.
और उसने गलती किया तो fine. Next one. Lending at interest of goods from the treasury is lending. What is lending? From the government treasury you are giving money. Trading in state commodities is trading. बराबर है, state commodities, all the grains that we talk about. What is trading has been defined. In those cases, the fine is double the fruit. अगर उसने कुछ गलती किया गड़बड़ में, तो you recover it double. If the officer makes the due date as not due or the date not due as due, that is concealment. Dates इधर-उधर करता है ना? You cannot do that. Okay. For that, fine is 1/5. How is he recovering? Dandani by paying fines, by charging fines. 12. If the officer causes a diminution of the revenue fixed or causes an increase in the expenditure sanctioned that is causing loss. See, in the budgeting process, you say this much is for spending. If you spend too much, that's bad. If you underspend and show other expenses, that is also bad. करते हैं ना लोग? खर्चा 10 रुपए का बिल लगा तो 25 रुपए का मैं सैंक्शन करता हूँ. That's how all the contractors work, right? The authority only says, how much is that? 20 rupees. Make it 50 rupees. 30 rupees mine. Know this?
Yes.
There's a fine for that. For that, the fine is 4 times the last one. Not पकड़ा होता नहीं 4 बार. The use of the king's goods by oneself or allowing it by others is use. You have to use the king's goods. For that, the punishment is execution of use of jewels. The middle fine for violance of the use of articles of high values, restoration of that, and an equal amount as fine for use of articles of small value and forest produce. Next. The appropriation of the king's good by the substitution of other goods is interchange. You know, people interchange. देना था ये मोबाइल लेकिन दे देते दूसरा मोबाइल दुकान में देते डुप्लीकेट. What is being promised, you do something else. You give a lower quality. That is explained by rules concerning use. Next, if the officer does not deliver the income that has occurred, does not pay the expenses put down in writing, denies the balance received, that is misappropriation. देखिए, sometimes the government officer collects the money but doesn't put it into the treasury. आपने तो दे दिया, मेरे को तो I am an honest man, but that man in between is a dishonest man, so it is not in the treasury, right? So isn't that a culprit? तो उससे भी recover. See, honest people facing dishonest people is a very dangerous thing, right? Honest people, that is what happened in India. People say, no, हम तो ईमानदारी से काम करते हैं, तो government चोर है. Better not to pay taxes. What will you do? You are an honest person in a dishonest system. What will you do? Be honest or dishonest? Very interesting question, huh? An honest person and a dishonest person, should he pay taxes to the government which is dishonest?
Yeah. Change the government.
Very fundamental ethical question. And again ask, you are an honest person in a dishonest system, should you pay your taxes honestly to a dishonest government?
Yes. Yes.
How many people say, "I को चोर है तो मैं क्यों दूँ?" मैं charity में देता हूँ. This is the catch. Suppose I have to pay 100 rupees to tax. I know the government is going to be eating away that 100 rupees. What I will do, I will pay 20 rupees. 80 rupees I will pay to charity. A lot of people do that. How many people will pay honestly that 100 rupees to dishonest government?
But you don't have an option, no?
Sadly, people have many options.
When the government changes, you get screwed.
That's your problem. What I'm saying, okay, irrespective of the government, okay, how many people feel that not paying honest money to dishonest government is right?
Not paying.
Honest money to dishonest government is right. Debate कर लेना बाद में. I am an honest government, this is honest. Why should I pay? Better give it to charity directly, right?
No.
It's only a matter of time you will get caught.
Legally, it is not right. You have to, if I don't pay.
See, you are talking about an employee who is working in an absolutely ethical system, right? You don't have a choice, but आप directly cut के जाते हैं. But people who are into business can manipulate along with the chartered accountant. You have a choice or not to do it or not to do it. I'm telling you, it is
eventually we will catch up.
Yes.
And then you will end up one is paying unwanted fines, two can get blacklisted. Secondly, the government may be dishonest, but the fund, the taxes that are going are getting channelized into different projects, which is for the upliftment of the state and the country. Absolutely. Irrespective, even if the government is dishonest, it cannot 100% take away the taxes that you are paying.
Even a dishonest government wants an honest taxpayer.
It's a source of income. Because it's a source of income. Because all your infrastructure, everything is depending on the taxes that you pay.
Can I repeat it? Even a dishonest government wants an honest taxpayer. Everybody may be paying to me, but as a politician, I'm thinking a project कैसे चलेगा? देखिए be on the honest side, whether the government is on the dishonest side or not, doesn't matter. यहाँ पे तुम्हारा value system आता है. In the long term you will succeed.
And you will not spend your energy in the wrong direction.
So many companies. Okay, now again coming on to demonetization, they give you chances of opening out all your things. फिर एक बार declare कर दो जो गलत है सही है. Remember that?
Yes.
A lot of people are just down. बोलिए बोलिए.
Question था basically with respect to demonetization and in this topic also.
Yeah.
Whatever demonetization action लिया गया, bureaucrats के against कोई भी action नहीं था. Bureaucracy के against कोई भी action नहीं था. कभी businessman को पकड़ा कर.
वो point नहीं है. See, this is where we start thinking about the गलती of others. Because see, this is where we need to check our mind. देखो आपका question is the problem in the bureaucracy, right? My question is still different. My question is about your honesty. Didn't I ask you that in bureaucracy गलत रहेगा तो भी आप सही रहोगे क्या?
Yes.
आप नहीं बोल सकते हो. That's a choice. You can tell no. But my question is not about honest or dishonest bureaucracy. My question is about you being honest to a dishonest government. What is your choice?
Honest.
Honest is best policy. That is good. जब ये देना पड़ता है ना.
On the fundamental issue, aren't you disciplining the government has become more and more dishonest every day? So what I will want to not pay. I'll be afraid of the fact that she mentioned that the government must be to catch up with me.
See, I'll tell you something very interesting. Chetan, see देखो ये जो thought है ना, Indian में ना ये thought बहुत important है. When I'm teaching you Anvikshiki through this diagnosis process, you're always looking outside. Prasanna, I'm asking you, are you an honest taxpayer or you're talking about a system that is dishonest?
No, the question which you're asking me is, I'll be an honest taxpayer.
Stop. ये प्रॉब्लम है हमारा ब्यूरोक्रेसी का. हमारे छोड़ो ना, वो खराब है, अपने कंट्रोल में नहीं है. टेल मी वन थिंग, यू आर गेटिंग कंडीशन बिकॉज सो मच डिसऑनेस्टी अराउंड, मे बी इन योर फैमिली, इन योर फ्रेंड सर्कल, इन योर कंपनीज, राइट? दैट्स व्हाई यू आर आंसरिंग अ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम एन इकोसिस्टम, नॉट योर्स.
Because the root of the problem starts there.
Yes.
Because when you travel, we always have a grey area which is there, which confuses us, and when we are dealing with people who have clarity, especially when I travel abroad, I see that the work ethics are different than the work ethics here. And this is purely because they are very clear. They are not affected by whether the government is honest or dishonest. They don't get affected by that. They say, this is my job, I am supposed to do this and get out.
हम लोग क्यों कर में सोचते हैं यार?
Starts from us.
See, I'll tell you about your father, honest man, right? Dealing with a dishonest system. Now that's his thing. आपका generation में आप लोग किया है. This generation you must have struggled. But what I'm saying that your generation is clean. You still have a choice to be honest or dishonest.
Yeah, the current generation is clean.
Yeah.
They are very clear about how they want.
No, but the problem is that they may get influenced by the others.
They will get, but still they are much more.
आपको पता है? I'm talking about this diamond industry. Since I have worked in the industry, I know of people who are now in between two generations, probably your age. A different generation, उनके बच्चे भी आ रहे हैं अभी. You know what is their biggest problem? तो बोलता my parents' generation deal with a very dishonest government, right? My children, I don't want to deal in that government. Isn't it true?
Yes.
So my challenge is balancing these two. Because they will give me ideas of the past, but I want to create a future for the next generation. So what is my mental dilemma is not financial survival. What is the message I give to them? Isn't it true?
Yeah.
So a lot of the influences that we have is about the ecosystem and somebody else. My question still remains about you.
So, just want to highlight something. Now, demonetization we are talking about, the impact it has had. The diamond trade used to work on a system called Ambade.
Trade, huh? Look at the word. How highly precious trade, huh?
Which was the backbone of the system.
Yeah.
It was always said that this is one thing that cannot be replaced.
Yes.
Today, the volume that the Ambades are still there, but on a scale of 1 to 10, they are existing at the level of 2, which they were earlier at the level of 10. Now it is becoming increasingly difficult for everybody to cash in that. So even a small player or a big player, now they are going directly, even if you want to backward, they said, okay, we will give you the bill and you give us an RTGS. Nobody is saying you pay me in cash. So So that mindset within the span of 3 months, the mindset has changed. Which was earlier, if you look at it at the quantum of the change that you wanted, earlier without the demonetization process, if somebody would have asked them to do it, it would have never happened. So that is the kind of impact it has happened in this state. Though there are people who are transacting money, but the kind of transactions that were happening on a daily basis has definitely on a scale of 1 to 10 has come down to 2. That is a...
Absolutely. And let me ask you a very fundamental question. Don't ask about anybody else, don't talk about the government, don't talk about anybody else. I'm just asking an honest question to yourself, okay? How many people over here got affected by demonetization directly? Raise your hands. No, you don't say no for others, you say about yourself. Don't just generalize. How many people got affected by demonetization here in this room? Raise your hands. How many people did not?
The effect was positive.
Forget it, don't change the topic. India में यही problem है, बात एक कर रहे घुमाते हैं. I'm trying to address one single point, okay? I'll tell you, interestingly, those people who did not get affected were in industry which was already organized, isn't it true? Or they were honest in that system, right? ठीक है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Now the industries who got affected were the one who will get into the transition phase, isn't it?
Yes.
The thing is that the guys who got affected also over a period of time see the positive benefits of it. Isn't it true? Now the thing is that you're talking about that generation which did not have a choice but to be legal and ethical day one. IT industry did not have a choice to be honest or dishonest. No? The government had already put systems and processes in place. It was tracked.
They were exporting services.
Exactly. So हम लोग को क्या फर्क पड़ता है? पहले भी टैक्स देते थे, अभी भी टैक्स देते थे, अभी तो अच्छा हो गया, कम टैक्स देना पड़ता है. The thing is that this is where Chanakya comes in. If you put a system and processes right from front day one, then you can easily collect the taxes. But see all the systems that we're talking about, disorganized industry were existing even before the government came in, isn't it? Farming was a disorganized industry, banking was a disorganized, not banking, the other system. So if you can put systems and processes in place, recovery easy हो जाता है. What I'm saying is that if you are getting into a system, come honestly. I've seen so many politicians declaring assets which is legal, nothing wrong. किसने बोला जाता है कि politician can't be rich? ये another myth है. It's a big myth. Who told politician can't be rich?
They shouldn't be rich.
Only rich people can be politicians.
Yes.
No, but you are again looking at from a perspective of अभी सब पैसा कमा लिया अभी चोरी करो.
Honest politician.
No, in fact that is good. Now you are not worried about your basics. If you are an honest rich guy, you better get into politics because you are not earning for yourself. नाम के लिए काम करो या फिर काम के लिए काम कर रहे हो. So what I am saying is simple है. Life में अपना financial sort out करो and then go into social work. So it is good. Rajas became spiritual because the worldly things were achieved. All our rajas, all our spiritual masters were kings. Have you seen that? Yes. They were so high in that particular system that क्या चोरी करेगा? They have spiritual questions to answer. Mahavir,
we have Buddha. We have so many examples in the diamond trade. There are people who had the kind of wealth people just dream of, and suddenly renounce and say, this is and they renounce and they are
just walked off.
They just walked off. So many examples. Right. And it's not one or two. There are multiple examples like this where people at the peak of their wealth have suddenly decided that this is not what it is. The realization has set in and they have just walked out of it.
See, त्याग भावना से आप करोगे ना, believe me, India में highest is not making wealth. I was in US recently where I was releasing my book, Unwitching. So somebody asked this particular question, and I was telling them in India, like you Americans, उनको बोला nicely, our role models are not the richest men. अमेरिका में Fortune 500 list में आया, और that Forbes के list में आया. That means the richest man is the most respected man. Isn't it true? That's why the whole American dream is to create wealth. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, nothing wrong. But in India, we are not respecting the richest man. We respect the spiritual person. Isn't it true?
Yes.
Like we have gone beyond richest men. In fact, the richest men aim for being spiritual, isn't it? We are highly evolved society. They still stuck up there. Material success is equal to success. We say material success plus spiritual success. We're not telling that paisa mat kamao. इतना कमाओ कि आप पैसे घर में सोचना ही भूल जाओ. It's like eating food so much, छोड़ दो यार. भूखे को बोलो food is not important, right? So this is anything over a point of time, you start giving it up. But earn it before you leave it.
So you have to earn. Only then you can leave.
Exactly. First earn it. That's why Rajas have to create wealth, and at one point should know how to give up wealth. But come out with it. But that is only philosophy. पैसा सब कुछ नहीं होता. कमाने की लायक ही नहीं.
जिसके पास नहीं होता वो बोलता है.
And then they're jealous of others who make money.
Yeah.
Okay, let's come back. 19. If the officer does not deliver the income that has occurred or does not pay the expenses by putting it down in writing or denies the balance received, this is misappropriation. So what I'm saying, a lot of people take money but don't account for money. So bureaucracy में यही होता है ना, under the table. They got the money but not recorded. Okay, for that the fine is 12 times the amount. So अगर उसने 1 lakh का घपला किया है, how much will the government recover from him? That's how you. So there are multiples being power 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this is where probably all of you should read again and again and again and again. And my favorite, 20 to 40 is basically, sorry, 20 onwards to 21.
32.
No, 21. It is 40. It's amazement जो लिखा हुआ है, but I'm giving it a simple word, which is 40 type of. I don't have time to explain everything, but I just go through it. चोरियां किस टाइप की होती है, गवर्नमेंट के ट्रेन में. Of the officers, देखो ये कौन करता है? Senior का इंटरव्यू. Did I tell you about the Deloitte report? 86% of the frauds that happen in a company, internal frauds are done by the senior management. So don't blame that last man. The last man is doing it at a smaller scale, but the big man does it in a biggest scale. राजा का चोरी होता है. राजा का नहीं, राजा के मंत्री परिषद, bureaucrats. चलो. Of those officers, the way of embezzlement are 40. What has occurred first is realized afterwards. आ तो गया लेकिन बाद में दिखा. Suppose you get money and you get 10,000 rupees, but you declare after 6 months. That means वो बीच में किधर गया? आपने खाया ना? What has been recovered, you show it later on. That's also corruption, right? Next, what is to occur later is realized first. जो बाद में आने था पहले दिखा दिया, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. When you showing money, there is already come in which has not come in. So there is some flaw in that. What is to be carried out is not carried out. होता है ना? इतना सारा काम, बजट भी है, लेकिन कम नहीं करते क्यों? बैठा रहता है. And then suddenly in March you will see all the roads being opened up. देखा आपने? What is to be carried out is not carried out. You see all the roads in Bombay are dug up? Yes or no? क्यों? What is the logic? Budget. What is to be carried out the whole year? They will do it in the last 2 months. Why? What is supposed to be carried out? That means there is some corruption element there. चाणक्य ने बोला है. What is not to be carried out is carried out. किसने कोई प्रोजेक्ट बनाया? A lot of people do that. In the budget है. Let's create something out of nothing. What is carried out is made out, not carried out. कर दिया लेकिन दिखाना नहीं. What is not carried out is made out to be carried out. See, every permutation combination is different. What is carried out, a little is made out as much. आधा काम हुआ, पूरा काम हो गया. पूरा बिल दिखा. What is carried out, much is made out as little. पूरा हो गया लिखता है. आपने तो काम आधा किया है. अरे पूरा कर दिया साहब को. वो बिल रिलीज करो ना. नहीं. किधर है? One thing is carried out, while another is made out as carried out. किया कुछ दिखा था कुछ. हुआ कौन ने बेटे तो स्कूल बना के दे दिया. अरे हुआ है, मैंने देखा है. Politicians, they have budget for something else, they construct a road to their house. what is supposed to be carried out, they have been carried out, but show something else is being carried out.
So right now there is a very clear example. I think some 20 or 21 medical colleges the licenses have been cancelled.
Okay.
So what used to happen is the building is there. When the medical council comes for inspection, only at that point in time the equipment was purchased on hire and the doctors are on hire only for say 1 week.
Showing off.
Once they go, everything is to go. And student admissions were taken views on that. Look, this is happening across the country. There are about 20 colleges working for blacklisted.
So they get all that fees from the students and they don't carry it out. See, look at this. See, don't look at this as Chanakya said. You can see the impact in some other Aage dekhiye. What is carried out much is not made out as little. One thing is carried out while another is made out as carried out. What is carried out from one source is made out as from another. यहाँ से किया लेकिन दिखाता कुछ और से. What is to be paid is not paid. ये तो एकदम simple काम करते हैं. बेचारे ने पूरा काम करके दिया है, उसका बिल पे नहीं करता. फिर वो फ्रस्ट्रेट होकर बोलता है भैया तू दे दे पैसा लेकिन मेरा बिल क्लियर कर दे. Isn't it? So what is being carried out is not paid. What is not to be paid is paid. अरे ये क्या है? कि कुछ तक रोड बना दे, ऐसा बिल बना दे, मैं ओके कर देता हूँ. So they are paying for not what is not being paid. Payment is not made in time. अरे it is right now. आपने काम किया लेकिन टाइम पे पेमेंट नहीं किया. Payment is made untimely. पहले क्यों पे किया इसने? Before time क्यों पेमेंट किया? A little paid is made or as थोड़ा पे और उन्होंने मैं तो पूरा दिया है. You paid 10%, I paid 100%. What is overpaid is made out as little. ऊपर क्यों ज़्यादा क्यों दिया और कम क्यों दिखा रहे पेपर में? One thing is given while another is made out as given. कुछ और दिया और कुछ और बता रहा है. What is paid to one is made out to be paid to another. Pay किया इसको दिखाता है, pay किया उसको. आगे हो जाओगे पढ़ते बैठे. What is delivered into the treasury is made out as not delivered. अंदर डाल दिया, accounting नहीं किया. What is not delivered is made out as delivered. अंदर डाल दिया, किधर है दिखता नहीं है. I know my professor who did that in one of the universities, not ours. He said हमें इतना create किया, तो उधर का वैसे में किधर है? हमारा फाइनेंस में तो पैसा नहीं आया. Then they realize in the name of that project people funny है भाई. इसलिए मैं तुमको बोला कि तुम लोग किसको पेमेंट देते हो?
Registrar.
मेरे नाम पे कुछ नहीं आता है. And you have to be very clear. Not only anything that you do like ना, किसके नाम पे पैसा देते हो, that is very important ना. आपका सारा चेक किस पे जाता है? फाइनेंस एंड अकाउंट ऑफिसर. इट्स पब्लिक मनी. ये लाइफ में प्रिंसिपल आप दे हो और भी रेजोल्यूशन है कि चेक किसके नाम पे बना. स्पेशली फॉर डीलिंग विद एनी इंडिविजुअल ना, तो बच्चा पहले तो ब्लैंक चेक देना नहीं. ये पता है ना आपको? एंड नॉट इवन इन द नेम ऑफ दैट इंडिविजुअल. लॉट ऑफ बैंकर्स हैव गॉट कलेक्टर्स होते हैं ना, आउटस्टैंडिंग में कलेक्शन करते हैं तो उसके नाम पे ले लेते हैं, कैश में ले लेते हैं. आगे. What is not delivered is made out as delivered. Forest produce for which the price has not been paid is delivered. That for which the price has been paid is not delivered. Concentration of goods is made out as dispersal, or dispersal made out as concentration. An object of high value is charged for an object of low value. हाँ, यही ना, यही पे गड़बड़ हुआ है ना. Valuation. I'm sure Rajesh can also give you a lot of gems and jewelry valuation. American diamonds, right?
Undervaluing of the same goods.
Of the same goods.
Beauty बचाने के लिए.
Beauty बचाने के लिए. और one of low value for high value. है इतना सा बड़ा के लिखा था. The price is raised. The price is reduced. The year is made descript as to months, or the month descript as to days. तो पूरा साल का अकाउंटिंग करना है, 2 दिन में निकाल लेते हैं. Discrepancy as to source, discrepancy as to head of discrepancy, sorry. As to head of income, etc. Discrepancy as to workmen. लोगों के साथ भी चीटिंग करते हैं ना हम लोग. हम पैसा लेते हैं, लोगों को देते नहीं. Discrepancy in performance. हाँ, this is very important. This is very very important. जो मेहनत नहीं करता वो भी चोर है. बहुत सारे लोग हैं. This is what we've been discussing also. So one of the things, corruption in government, again across the globe. When I say corruption, don't please blame India. दुनिया भर घूम के पता चला corruption is everywhere. Only thing that being an open democracy, it's open. जो पैसा पगार आपको देता है उसके लिए तो काम करना चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? You are getting paid Don't you have to work for that? उतना भी नहीं करते हो. Isn't that loss to treasury? I paid you. You're not even working those many hours. आते हैं कुर्सी गरम करके जाते हैं. सुना है आपने?
You have so many government officers here who are the speakers वगैरह, they employ other people to come and do this. It's a very classical case.
So what are you getting paid for? In the rights. हमारा पाइजे यार तुम्हारा पाइजे दिला ना आता काम करा. I'll tell you. थोड़ा interesting case हुआ. There was one municipal commissioner, not of Bombay, some other place. Very honest man. Very honest man. And he knew that wherever he is getting transferred is absolutely dishonest place. So he just went when he got appointed, called all the officers. And then he said, you know, कितना लोग पैसा खाते हैं यहाँ पे? क्लासिक कितना लोग पैसा खाते हैं? कोई बोला नहीं. तो बोला निकालो क्या रिकॉर्ड? कितना लोग पैसा खाते हैं बोलो. तो सब लोग ने हाथ ऊपर किया. Okay, thank you for accepting. अभी कम से कम काम करो. I hope you understood what he said. Yes. I know all of you are dishonest. कम से कम काम करो. I'm not here to make you corrupt or uncorrupt. I know you are corrupt. कम से कम काम. And believe me, that whole play is not just this one man comes and says, I'm not going to stop your corruption. He can do that, right? But over again, nahi, काम करो. And believe me, over a period of time, those men automatically became honest. Do you know this? So Shivanandan sir told me this. I am here as a commissioner of police. My job is not anti-corruption bureau. Please understand this.
This is clarity of thought.
देखो ये ना लाइफ में आपको जिस दिन समझ में आएगा कि मेरा रोल क्या है. बोले कि वहाँ पे एंटी करप्शन ब्यूरो का ऑफिसर बैठा है ना. मेरा काम क्या है? पूरा सिटी का सेफ्टी. Don't forget your role. And mix up our role with everybody else's role. अपना काम करो चुपचाप. Believe me, if you do that, the world will change. हमको दुनिया भर का सेवा करना है. अरे छोड़ो यार, अपना देखो, अपना घर का देखो. Honestly, then you understand what is the concept of वसुधैव कुटुंबकम. जो अपने कुटुंब को नहीं संभाल सकता, जो अपने आप को नहीं संभाल सकता, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम is only a philosophy without reality.
Mind your own business.
Mind your business and do your business honestly. So think about this man. He comes and tells how many of you are dishonest. Everybody is dishonest. Now काम करो. काम तो करो ना. That's what he said. And believe me, what a man. I can get him also to speak to you if you want. You want to deal with really honest bureaucrats? So be it. You want to get him? CB वाले को बुलाओ. Yes. List बना दो. Now we are getting really class people. Okay. This. Okay. Discrepancy in the sum total, discrepancy in quality, in price, in weighing, in measuring, in vessels, etc. वो होता है ना तराजू में भी weight. Rationing में corruption था पता है आपको? 1 किलो है लेकिन देते 800 ग्राम. So the weights and measures में भी corruption हो सकता है. That's why even if you look at the weights and measurement rules ना, they are all sanctioned by the government. You can't play around with it. It will be certified. I'll just take for another 5 minutes and then we'll wind up. Okay. So 20 to 21 हो गया. Now 22 is very interesting. 20 to 24. We suppose if you catch somebody and you have it down, isn't it? It's not cruel. So there is something called as interrogation. Interrogation means questioning. And there are levels of interrogation: first degree, second degree, third degree. So we're not talking about the third degree. I'm just talking about if you have a doubt, you have a culprit, you have to ask the right questions to find out whether he is corrupted or no. Just read it quickly. In these cases, he should interrogate each individually. Proof पे में भी अगर चोरी किया तो एक-एक को पकड़ना. The subordinate officer, the storekeeper, the recorder, the receiver, the person who pays, the person who causes the payment to be made, the advisor and the helpmate. And in case of false statement by these, the fine shall be same as for the officer concerned, and he should issue a proclamation in the sphere of his activity. Those wrong by such and such an officer should communicate it to me. So such and communicate, he should cause payment to be made in accordance with the injury suffered. So basically, you try different ways of questioning different types of people to find out who is the main culprit. देखो सिस्टम में सब लोग करप्ट नहीं होते, to find out who is that one corrupted guy is strategy. It's very easy to blame the government corrupted, but is it true? No, but there is corruption also. The strategy is to find out that one guy and the method is questioning everybody separately. पुलिस करती है ना, मर्डर होता है तो 10 लोग हैं, सर्वेंट है, वो है, गेट कीपर है, सबको अलग अलग पूछते हैं, then try to fix it up together, isn't it? It's a jigsaw puzzle. Then you find out that one guy. Oh, that's about interrogation. Then once you find who is the corrupted guy, super number 26 to 28 is acquisition.
25.
Yeah. Sorry. So let's read 25 to 28. नहीं 26 ही है बराबर. Sorry. Communicate to me. To such a community, he should cause payment to be made in accordance with the injuries suffered. 26 है. यहाँ पे 25. 26. And in case of many acquisitions, if the officer denies all charges and is proved guilty in a single case, he shall be liable for all. देखो ऐसा है कि 5 केस में आप एक ही केस में पकड़े गए. You are liable for all the 5 cases. Again. In case of partial admission, he shall send trail in all cases. एक में ही अभी तक guilty है तो he should be checked for all the cases because everything is interlinked, right? सब कुछ interlinked है. And in case of misappropriation of large amount of money, if proved guilty with respect to even a small part of it, he shall take liable for all. That's what a lot of people, they have this problem that मैंने तो गलती नहीं किया, मेरा subordinate ने गलती की. It doesn't matter. एक बंदा पता है मेरे को कि basically उसका ऑफिस का बिल्डिंग बन रहा था and then that building because of whatever low quality building fell and 1 or 2 labor contractors died. You know who went to jail?
Principal contract.
Can you believe it? Along with the principal contract, the owner of that building. Contract तुमने दिया ना उसको. Why did you check the quality? You are liable. मैंने तो नहीं, मैं तो outsource किया no. Sorry. वो तो जाएगा ही करेगा. You got the equal thing because you are the one who did the one job. Right or wrong? तो कौन जाएगा मैंने नहीं किया. So आपके घर पे चोरी होता है तो आप liable हो, leader. दुकान जाएगा मैं. You are acquitted. That is the ownership comes in. उसने किया तो मैं ना नहीं बोल सकता. I own it. The success comes again. But a failure comes, including corruption. And so you have to question anybody. If system is corrupted, Prime Minister also is a part of the game. You may be uncorrupted, right? You may be uncorrupted, but the system is corrupted. Sorry, not accepted. Prime Minister or President, no, Chanakya would not accept it. Okay, now comes very important and the last point. Hand. This is what is the topic? The topic पे आ जाइए. क्या है topic?
Recovery of.
And there comes suddenly a very interesting game changer in Chanakya. पूरा corruption को eliminate करना है तो there is one person. ये suddenly आता है last में. Summary. He is the one who tells you. Nobody tell you I am corrupted. Can anybody officer tell you? So you have systems of spies, vigilance guys. है ना गेम चेंजर. पूरा सिस्टम में घुसा के रखा है. Try to find out. So 29 is interesting. Up to 29 means up to 32. Till the last one, you'll find it. It suddenly gives a lot of weightage to informers because they are the one who tell you the leaks in the system. An informer to whom a guarantee is given against appraisal by the officer should receive 1/6 part of the amount involved. Informer ने अगर तो केस को क्रैक किया, he should also be given money. बख्शीश बोलते हैं ना? If the matter is proved, 1/12 part if it happens to be a state servant. बड़ा आदमी को पूछा ना तो इतना, depending on the size, the whistleblower. उनको भी corruption में क्रैक किया तो उसको मिलते हैं. If in an acquisition concerning a large amount only a small portion is proved, he shall receive a share of what is proved. बोला सर 10,000 करोड़ का घोटाला है, but they only proved 1,000 crore. But he proved ना, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. So उस पार्ट का आपको परसेंटेज ऐसा रिवॉर्ड मिलता है. Reward and recognition. In case it is not proved, हाँ, अब सर उधर घोटाला है, गड़बड़ है, then what? He shall receive corporal or monetary punishment. हाँ, ऐसे नहीं किसी को भी चोर बोलना. Lot of, see, higher position में there are good people and bad people who are behind you, right? So somebody wants to defame you. बोले सर मैं informer है, खबरी है, मेरे को मालूम गड़बड़ वाला आदमी. Then you try out, find out, and say no, he is not. गड़बड़ किसी का भी नाम खराब करता है, इतना honest man का. Then corporal punishment, what is it here?
Beating or
Yes. That is capital punishment. Corporal is basically injuring certain parts of the body, cutting off tongue, physical is. Or monetary, not necessarily it has to be beating, it can be finance उससे निकालो. खबरी लोग के पास भी बहुत पैसा होता है. The commission agent many times.
They are also murdered, sir.
Yes. And no favor shall be shown to him. If somebody gives a wrong information and it is proved that he is trying to make something, then no favor. उसको information system से निकालो. Another we've seen a movie called Baby. It's very information based. Of course, it between two nations. But Chanakya puts an information system within. Bombay police is successful because of its fantastic information system. Na? Bombay is a safe city because of this छोटा-मोटा खबरी लोग, but they are very big. The source. Next time शिवनंदन सर आएंगे ये सब पूछना. What is the information network? पूछोगे?
Yes.
ये क्या हो?
Yes.
But if when the charge is being proved, अभी देखिए, the last sutra sums up with giving respect to the informer. See, you know, there was this guy called as J. Day, who got died, and I was a part of that book launch. J. Day के ऊपर एक book आया था, Dial Zero करके, and I remember he was there and Ajay Devgan and all those were there for the book launch in Crossroads. यहाँ पे आप लोग सब आए ना? So Ajay Devgan को किसी ने पूछा था, because he's worked with so many underworld movies, ना, company ये वो सब. What is that one role that you still want to play in the underworld? Ajay Devgan is very interesting. The one person who is absolutely understated in the whole underworld and policing system is the Khabri. He plays with a lot of risk. Baby movie में वही है ना, मर जाते हैं पता भी नहीं चलता. They're killed. Nobody even knows about it. They are a part of a legal system yet nobody knows them. What they do? They bring out the biggest cases. That's why whistleblowers.
Phantom movie also had that.
Everywhere. See, these are the under silent players. So they are the one who keep the nation together. So a lot of respect. Chanakya gives a lot of respect to them. When we get into maybe some other time, we will talk about the espionage system. You know what is the espionage system? Spies. Spying and counter spying. Spy के ऊपर भी एक spy रहता है. Very interesting. इसको जाल बोलते हैं. Everybody is confused. Who is spying whom? Coming back, the last sutra says, and if when the charge is being proved, okay, the informer at the instigation of the accused officer were to throw up the case or to make himself scarce, he shall be condemned to death. तो डबल एजेड सोर्ड है. गलत किया, कोई भी अच्छे ऑफिसर को आपने गलत प्रूव कर लिया. So the informers also are very clear कि मैं कुछ गलत नहीं बताना चाहता. Okay, so let me summarize it. We completed one chapter. The last point I will take is in chapter number 9. Let's quickly recap it. Recovery of revenue by state and employees. We saw what is income. And I give an example of the pot. You have to fill up and make sure there is no leak below. Otherwise the pot and the treasury will get empty. Sutra 1, all undertakings are dependent first on treasury. Means of increase of treasury, how to increase it, loss of treasury instead, ways of recovery, 40 types of theft, commitment, and information, acquisition, and finally, informers. We'll take a break, we'll come back at
Same place.
One
Let's check.